Welcome to my updated Sorare guide. Not only will this tell you how to play Sorare, not only will it tell you what Sorare is, it will tell you how to play Sorare well. The first tip is to sign up using an affiliate link. The reason why it is the best sign up bonus you can get, it will mean you get one free card after you purchase 5 from the auctions. This will help you get an advantage in the game. If you haven't done it, don't worry about it, but if you do want to sign up, my link will be in the description. It supports this channel and it also supports your gallery, so let's do that. When you initially sign up to Sorare, you'll have a choice of playing the MLB, the NBA, or football. Obviously, my content is primarily based around the football side of the game, so I'm going to be talking about that largely in this guide. When you start on Sorare, you have this choice to do these draft modes. I'm in the La Liga draft at the minute. These are essentially the free-to-play version of Sorare. These allow you to play the game for free, but in addition, you can actually still win real rewards that you can sell or use in your gallery on Sorare for the rest of time. And if you don't know what Sorare is already, in its simplest form, it's a fantasy football game mixed with a card collecting game. It will allow you to play and collect football players for the rest of their career. So if you buy a card today, let's take Yamal, the Barcelona wonder kid, you will get his card until the rest of his playing career. So that could be till 2040. Who knows, but that's one of the huge benefits of Sorare. You'll have a 400 points cap to make your team, and you can only pick 2 players from the same team to make up a squad of 10 players, 2 from each position, which will then transform into a team of 5 players consisting of a goalkeeper, defender, a midfielder, a forward, and an extra card. That extra card can either be a defender, midfielder, or a forward, and that puts together a Sorare, a 5-a-side football team. These cards that you'll be drafting are common cards. They are the free-to-play, as I mentioned before. As you start progressing through the game, you'll move into the limited division, which are the yellow cards. You can then move into the rare division. Those are the red cards. And then into the blue division, the super rares. And if you are a millionaire, you can even go and play the unique division, the one of ones. But of course, for this guide, I'll be covering the common and the limited divisions because those are the entry level. Those are the basic leagues where you can start and learn to play the game. You can see on screen right now, there are a couple of yellow or limited 1 of 1,000 Sorare cards. So this means there is 1,000 mints of this card every season. And your first difference, if we look at Kevin De Bruyne or Trent Alexander-Arnold, the difference in designs there, that is a difference between different seasons. So each season that comes out, they'll do a different design and mint 1,000 of those cards in limited, 100 in rare, 10 in super rare, and of course 1 in unique. If we go and look at my Kevin De Bruyne card, there is a couple of points to notice. First point, it's 3D. The brand new season cards Sorare have gone over and beyond and made them 3D, so you can turn them around, spin them around, do what you want with them. But most importantly to you, it's how to play the game. So this 55 is his last 15 averages. So across the last 15 games that he played, how did he score? Let's talk quickly about the scoring matrix then. The scoring matrix is simply 0 to 100 in terms of score, and it moves up based on 2 different scores. Decisive actions are essentially actions that change the game. So that could be goals for positive action. It could be red card for negative actions. And the second part of the scoring then is your all-round, your AA score. Those 2 scores together combine to your total score for a Sorare card. In terms of your AA score, this is anything a footballer does on the pitch. Completing a pass, missing a pass, making a tackle. Absolutely everything your Sorare player does in real life translate to their SO5, their Sorare score. You can see an example of the goalkeeper scoring. It is quite complex, so for beginners, what I like to say is that good actions will get you more score, but bad actions will get you less score. You know, an error led to shot, -5 points. You don't need to remember it's -5 points. It's going to calculate it all for you. But yeah, just keep in mind, if they complete a pass, they're going to get a slight positive score. If they score a goal, they're going to get loads of scores. So you can see the last 15 average for De Bruyne is 55, but next to that, he has a 5.5% bonus. What this is an XP bonus for every score that he gets. So if he got a 60 pointer, I'd get 5.5% above that as my total score. In order to explain this, I've brought up my rare card of Timo Scheleck because you can see he's got an 8.5% bonus, which is obviously better than 5.5%. So starting off, you get a 5% bonus if you get a new season supply of cards. So obviously every year they bring out new supply. You know, the old season supply will lose the 5% bonus and the new season supply will get the 5% bonus. It keeps the market ticking over. It means there's an advantage to go and get new cards. In addition, you'll then see the next bonus is a level bonus. You get the level bonus all the way that you play Sorare cards. So the longer you hold the card, the more you use the card, the more XP it will get, and that will go up steadily over time. Finally then, we have a new addition, the collection bonus. Collection bonuses are actually bought or gained by going out and buying cards from the same team in the same year. So for example, my goal this season is to collect RB Leipzig cards in rare. So therefore, my rare collection, I have 7 out of the 23 cards. There's different metrics, which you don't really need to consider at the moment, but you can see some examples of them here. You can see that every card I acquire from RB Leipzig in the rare collection for this year will add this score. This score is essentially up at 300% or 300 points at the minute, which gives me a 3% bonus. So if you do want to try and get a little edge in the game, very early on, even from the beginning, I would suggest try and get cards maybe from your favorite team in the same season, like I've done with RB Leipzig, but of course, you'll be doing it in limiteds, you'll be doing it with the yellow cards. I've got an FC Soul stack here, which is all the way up to 5%. That 5% bonus can set you apart from the competition right from the start. So now you have a basic understanding of the cards and the game, let's just walk you through the menu so you know every single button that you can click. The home button looks like this. It just gives you an update on, your relevant teams that are playing at the minute. Your cards is your collection of cards, or as I like to call it, your gallery of cards. You can then go into collections, which I've just shown you. That will show you all of your different collections from every single card that you own. I've of course got a lot of them. Club honors are essentially how well you've done all of your different honors. It will show you, I've won 2 divisions, I've came second twice, I've got a bronze once, all my different cards. You don't really need to consider this. And then finally, we have the managers page. This is all different managers that you follow. If you want to go and follow me, my name is of course simply Alex. You can just type it in and click follow, and then that will keep you up to date. We've got people like Timo Werner here that also plays the game and has a selection of cards. The Sorare market comprises of 2 types of sales. There's auction sales or manager sales. The auction sales are sold by Sorare, so every single card that is auctioned off, the money goes to Sorare. If you are looking to use an affiliates link like the one in my description, you will need to get your 5 cards from auction to get that extra 5. That doesn't mean you can't go and get 5 from the manager sales as well. It's just once you acquire 5 from the auction, you will then get a free card. The other way is manager sales. Manager sales are essentially peer-to-peer, so you can sell your card at whatever price you want. You can list it as many times as you want, it's always free, but if I give you an example, I could sell him for £1,000, I could list him, you can see the market fee of 5% there. If I go and find a player that is in a team this week, like Alwar here, if I list it, it's got this listing will unregister your team. So be careful, don't list cards that, are playing in an active team that might do well, but if the team's dead and it's unlikely to win a reward, then feel free to list the card. On the market, there is also these starter packs, but to be honest, I wouldn't recommend them. They're just like bundles of players that have, no correlation. It's far funner, it's far better to just go out and buy the cards that you like, or buy a team that you like, or a player that you like. From the play section then, the upcoming is clearly the upcoming game week, the next game week that you can register teams for. For example, the Bundesliga Pro. If I wanted to click register, I would just register, then all of my available cards like Peter Galaski could go in here, and then you can see them all filtering into a team. This essentially will stop you entering any players that you can't enter. So, if you're able to click the player, you can use that player. Keep in mind, there will be requirements. So if we go back into it, you can see at the top right, you can read the requirements. So I can only use 1 common here, have to use 4 limiteds. Okay, understood. And then if you were to click on the division, you can just see all of the different details. So how many cards you need, what the captain bonus is there a points cap? The points cap, I'll explain quickly, in this example, it's 270, it changes per division. That is the combined averages of the last 15 averages of the player's scores that you can put into that team. So some, they're unlimited, you can put any average in you want, but for example, if I was to click these players, obviously I can't enter them because I can only use 1 common, I would have a points cap of 7 points remaining of the 270. If I went out and put a cheaper player in, like Frimpong, I would have 9 points. So of course you want to be as close to the cap as possible, but if you were to exceed it, it wouldn't let you enter that competition. The live game week shows you exactly how your players are playing In this game week, I'm doing really well. You can see all of the dark green scores are really good, and then all of the, if I can find some yellow or some red scores, they're typically not very good. So yeah, we've got some yellow scores here with some very average scores. Self-explanatory at this point, but the past game week is obviously the past historic game week. So you can see I finished 39th out of 800 people almost this week. That won me Milo Kirkos, who's worth about £150 at the minute. So that was a big win for me. There's also private leagues where you can play against your friends. There's often influencers that run leagues where you can play with them and compete against them, maybe for some prizes as well. And the prize pool shows you all of the different numbers of prizes in that competition each week. When you're new, it might be a little bit difficult to understand. So if you go to play upcoming, you can see the division that you're targeting. For example, Cap 240 is a lot of, where people start. If you are wondering, where you should start on different budgets, I'll show you this video. But if you do just click into the division, you can see if you have a team drafted, the details, the matches that are in that league, but what you might be interested in, the prize pool. So first place gets a tier 3 rare and a limited star, and then you can see all the way down to 1,500 actually gets a card. Some of the divisions actually give out cash prizes as well. So in the 240 division, so cap 240, if you get over 280 score, you get $5. And you get some Sorare coins. These Sorare coins are going to take a while to acquire. You'll need quite a lot of them. But when you do, you can get signed shirts. This week, Sorare dropped signed Premier League shirts. It costs 35,000 coins, so it will take a lot of time to build up if you're on a low budget. But it rewards players that play the game regularly and play the game for a long time period. If you're interested in playing Sorare, of course, you can play the common, the drafts, the free-to-play modes. But if you do want to play limiteds, rares, or anywhere above that, you will need to put some cash into the game. You can either use, traditional cash or the cryptocurrency Ethereum. In this case, we're going to look at cash because it's what most people will be doing. You can click your cash wallet and you just click add funds. Then you can add cash and then you can pay with a debit card or a wire transfer. They'll incur different costs and have different timeframes. It'll explain it all, but it's so simple now to get money onto Sorare. Now, the final question that I get asked almost every single day from new beginners. All right. So who should I buy? Who's the best player? Well, to be honest, it's a free market. There is no best player. There's no one you should go and buy because it's a free market. So if they're scoring well, a lot of people are going to buy them. They're going to go up in price naturally and vice versa. But the big tip every single Sorare player should be using is a website called Sorare Data. Sorare Data is essentially connected to Sorare, so you can use your same login. But what this will do will give you loads of different options of how you can scout players. For example, you can go scout, you can go football if that's your preferred sport. And then I like to start at player rankings. This will give you the historic scores of every single player on the game. In terms of the different leagues, this is the same as Sorare. So we're on all leagues at the minute. All-Star is everyone as well. Champion Europe is your top 5 leagues in the world. Your La Ligas, your Bundesliga, Premier League, the Serie A, and whichever one I'm missing, probably La Liga. No, League One. Then after that, the other leagues in Europe would be Challenger Europe. So this is your SPLs, this is the Eredivisie, and literally every single European league. After, we have America, we have Asia, and then the second division. So this will be your championships. This will be your La Liga Secundas. This will be your Serie Bs. So there are all the different leagues you can play. If you want to keep it simple, you can play the cap modes or the all-star, just let you play with any teams. But if you're like me, you like the best football in the world, Champion Europe is a place to start. For example, if I was to filter, we can see after the last 40 of the last 40 average, Grimaldo was the best player on the game. The reason you might be thinking Grimaldo the best player in the world, he had a transfer. He was at Benfica last season where it was slightly easier for him to score. Of the best players in the world, it's Kimmich and Mbappe of the ones that haven't moved. It's Kimmich, Mbappe, Bruno Fernandes, Griezmann. It's, what you would expect. They are the best players in the world. Kimmich, slightly more expensive at £228. It's, slightly more expensive to get forwards, and Mbappe is a lot younger. If you keep in mind, you get these players' scores for the rest of their life. The younger they are, traditionally, the more, more people want them, and the longer they can play on the game for you. So, yeah, Mbappe, one of the most expensive cards on the game with your Haalands as well. Currently selling, last sale, £455. This will give you a great overview of what other players on the market have paid for a card, and therefore it's probably a good example of maybe what you might want to pay for a card, because it's always hard to know when you're starting, well, how much should I pay for him, or who's the best player? So this is a general overview. You can have a play around on Sorare Data, just do anything you want. You can build your lineups, you can scout players, you can go to the market and see what's there, and then when you're done, you want your player, you can go to Sorare, you can type his name on, let's just say Frimpong, because we were looking at him before. You come over to your cards, you filter by lowest price. If you do want to go for a specific season, you can filter by a specific season, and then you can say, okay, I can buy them now for £35, or I can go and say, do you know what? I think £35 is a bit much. The last sale was £33. You can go and offer £33. Will you take that? If I sent that offer, it would be sent to him. He then reviews it. He can either counter, accept, or reject. And yeah, that's pretty much how you start building your gallery out. If you want to see, how to build it on different budgets, I'd suggest this video. Besides that, I've made as much as I can on the content on this channel, but people always have questions. So drop your questions down below. I'll answer as many as I can. Besides that, you can reach me on Twitter or Discord. And yeah, if you did like this video, can you please drop it a like? It really supports the channel. It pushes it out to more people. But besides that, all the best to you. Cheers.